And blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So God is telling you what's going to happen. Remember now, I'm naming off every single blessing. These are the words of God. These ain't my words. And every single blessing comes with a sacrifice. So my question number 2, who wants to be blessed? Knowing that it don't come free. Follow me. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they when men revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So the third question, because I sure many of y'all won't be blessed. I know for sure a great many of y'all ain't trying to be chosen. You say, you know what? Few are chosen. I ain't about that life. I just want to end up my grandchildren. I don't want to put me on no cross. I know I carry this cross on my life, but I can't take it. Lord knows I can't take no more. So it's tough. I don't know how many of y'all won't be chosen. I told you I believe y'all going to fail this test. I'm like Doubting Thomas. God forgive me. All right. So a lot of y'all don't want to be chosen. But for those who want to be chosen, let's move right along. How many of y'all want to be blessed? Because see, everybody want to be blessed. You go to church to pray for a blessing, but it comes with sacrifice. And God says, blessed that you are persecuted for righteousness' sake. That's a tough one. And my last question to you, and I'll read it. In verse 12, it said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. So what is God saying here? Or what is my question here? First of all, what's my last question? My last question is this. How many of y'all want to be happy? Because look at what God said. God said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, because great is your reward in heaven. He didn't say here on earth. He said in heaven. So now forget this, Bahamas. If this is the only thing you'll remember this one. Always, no matter what you give thanks, you bless the name of the Lord, you give thanks. But remember, your happiness, true happiness, only comes from your treasures in heaven. The things of this earth will never make you happy. You could be appreciative, but joy only comes from one person. The same way money can't buy love, money can't buy happiness. That can only come from Christ. So God reach me, bless this, God, protect us. And please help us to want to be chosen. Please help us to want to be blessed. And please help us to want to be happy. But please help us to know that it comes with sacrifice. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13, and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
At Government House, I'm Regis Cartwright. This is ZNS.
Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features. It's all about the feeling. It's the Northern Vibes with Raven Davis.
Good evening and welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to show for everything culture, arts, entertainment, and so much more. I'm Raven Davis, and tonight we're talking entrepreneurship, but not just any kind of hustle. Our guest tonight knows the grind well. From humble beginnings to building a name across the islands, he's stayed on his game, switched it up when he had to, and kept things moving. He's a visionary behind the Fluid brand, a business that flows with the culture, shifts with the scene, and always keeps it fresh. From events to big ideas, he's built something that's more than a company, it's a whole vibe. Let's take a look at his story. Clavon Pinky Duncan's journey began with a little black book where he scribbles down small ideas that would later grow into big opportunities. In his early years, he worked as a space cleaner at the Princess Hotel and also as a painter. Tough, humbling jobs that strengthened his determination to provide for his family and push towards something greater. A local businessman tells us that quitting was never quite an option for him.
For two, are you ready?
Those experiences became the foundation of his entrepreneurial drive, teaching him how to turn concepts into movements.
Good day, welcome to Freeport Liquor Depot. How may I assist you?
That vision led to the creation of the Fluid brand, a reflection of Pinky's commitment to innovation, adaptability, and building platforms that inspire others to think beyond limits.
Always look to try to take it to the next level.
Today, Clavon Pinky Duncombe is recognized as a visionary entrepreneur and brand builder. His story is proof that even the simplest beginnings can evolve into a lasting legacy. So, Mr. Duncombe, what inspired you to get into business, and what were those early days like, especially coming from being a janitor to now owning an empire?
That's a good question. Those days was rough. It was very hard. It's a lot of sacrifice in owning your own business. It takes a lot, financing, long nights. It isn't easy. It's very hard. And what inspired me was my family. Being able to have to provide for them. I had no other choice. Having to take care of the bills or pay the bills, you turn to what could you do and how could you help? And that was my inspiration. I'd say my family, my son, trying to be a good father, want to be a good father, and just be a good person on the whole.
Definitely. And how would you say you got your start? What was your first business venture?
My first business venture, I had so many. I remember I had this black and white book. When I was working, I used to take my break and go inside this closet, or sometimes in the bathroom. I'd write down these ideas I would have, where it was selling cars, selling clothes, selling cell phone, selling audio equipment. All these ideas that I said, okay, if I was to open a business with all these, it would help bring in some revenue, bring in some finance. So I dabbled with a lot of those businesses, selling cars, selling clothes. I would honestly say those would have been my first ideas or business ventures where I would have been considering getting customers. That would have been my first start.
And then you went into marketing and promotion, and people got to know who Clavon was and who was this Mr. Fluid.
Right. That's a good question. I think a lot of people still don't know who Clavon is. Everyone knows me as Pinky for whatever reasons. But yeah, the concert industry taught me formal marketing, realizing that that's a good way to reach a large audience and be able to sell any product. I feel like marketing is a #1 tool for businesses. We focus on that. It was the era of Facebook and the era of before WhatsApp. And so we was just pushing. I like to interact with persons. I feel I have a good personality. We knew a lot of persons, so doing the entertainment part of it wasn't hard. It was very easy transitioning.
And speaking of entertainment, you would consider yourself a risk taker, right? Talk about the challenges that come along with something like that. You invest a lot of money into some of these parties, and then sometimes they flop. Take us into one of those instances where you felt like, okay, I've carefully curated this plan, and then you went to the event and it was like flat.
Yeah, I could remember one of my first events. We had an event, it was June. It was around regatta time for Freeport. We planned this for like 4 months in advance. We booked the DJs, booked the club. And that night it rained, so no one showed up. We had already paid the DJ, paid for tickets, paid for hotel. That was a big blow for us, because at the time we took all our savings and tried to invest it, in a positive way. But that was not the case. The outcome was horrible. We lost everything. And even up to this day, I can still remember that, knowing that anytime we do an event, that's the chance you could take. You could lose everything.
Definitely, and that didn't stop you. How did those events help shape the businessman you are today?
How did it shape me? I guess looking at customers, listening to them, realizing that if you give them what they want, they would show up. If you have what they want, they would support. And just being in Grand Bahama, noticing how people think, how they react, what they want. And I felt like the marketing part of it, doing concerts, helped us to transition into our industry where it was, we have a product, now we know how to market it, and just be prepared for persons to come and purchase. I honestly feel like there's no blueprint on how we got our success. We just know that we was we was blessed, basically. Thank God for everything that he's given us and continue to give us. And I would honestly say most of that, I think, would come towards him, just blessing us and doing the right thing. I feel like you have to be a good person and do the right thing, and you'll be blessed.
Definitely a blessed person, because you have multiple businesses across multiple locations. I think about 3 or 4 islands. How do you even go about managing all of this?
That's a good question. I don't. The truth be told, like I said, owning a business is very rough, very hard, but owning multiples is even worse. So you take one of those businesses and times it by 10, and that's what you have.
So Clavon, being an entrepreneur is tough, but being an entrepreneur in Grand Bahama is even harder. Initially, when you started this restaurant, what was your vision?
So the reason why we acquired the location is for 2 reasons. We used to pass here for months, and I noticed that it had a drive-through, and I wanted to put a drive-through liquor store here selling wholesale, and then we wanted to do the next part as a sports bar, inside, outside, just selling apps with signature drinks and inexpensive drinks, and a place where people could come out and enjoy themselves.
Definitely, and we saw this restaurant open on a consistent basis, and then we saw the parking lot vacant. What happened?
So what had happened was that we realized, after doing the P&L that we would do every month, we realized that the business itself was in a decline. It was tough to make ends meet, so we decided to shut it down, recuperate, pivot, and come back and see what's the best thing we could do with the location and in Grand Bahama. And it was also during the summer months when those power bills spike up to 3 and 4 times. And we realized that it was cheaper to close than continue to operate at a loss.
But you didn't exactly close. As a businessman, you understand the importance of pivoting. Now this space is being used for events.
Yes, for events. We do events now. We also have a contract with one of our local tour operators that operates from Celebration Key. They bring the guests here, and we have a good experience with them, giving them a vibe, giving them the Freeport experience with our rum and beer tasting, as well as they sample some of the conch salad, which happens every day. And in the night, we're open for anyone who wants to do events. Utilize the space. It's very spacious, air conditioned, awesome atmosphere. You have to be willing to build a good team, because you need a good team, and be prepared, because every day there's going to be something that's come up. You just got to be prepared to shift, pivot, and make the right decision. We going on 15 years in the business. I saw some people came in, and I saw some people came out, but we still here, and that says a lot, meaning that we're probably doing the right thing. And our goal is to basically continue and do the best we can do in our business.
You mentioned how important it is to have a good team, and doing business, especially in Grand Bahama, is no easy feat. But talk about how doing business now is so different, especially following Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic.
Business in Freeport, honestly, and this is something I feel like a lot of persons don't touch on or speak about, but it needs to be addressed, basically. Grand Bahama's in a tough situation right now. For what I've seen from years to now, we are honestly on a decline, or I call it a decay, and I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed, because years ago when you could have opened a business and be able to provide, be able to have good customers, be able to have customers, now is a time when you open business and no one shows up. And it's not the fact that your business isn't doing well, the person's just in here. Everyone left because of, like you said, the hurricane, because of the pandemic. The opportunities for people to survive, take care of their family is not here in Grand Bahama. Everyone had to migrate. As simple as us, if you look at us, we had to open businesses on other islands, not because we want to, but we had no choice in order to sustain on our business and stay open. But Freeport really needs some help. A lot of persons don't understand it, but I feel for me, interacting with customers from low end to high end, interacting with customers who go out and don't go out, we would hear what they're saying, and most of them is hurting. The power bill is too much. The cost of living is too much. Every day is a bill. You can't duck it. It's very often it's worse on the business sector when we don't have that opportunity to open or close. We don't have the opportunity to turn off employees or turn them on. So our cost is fixed.
Wait, I want to stop you. I think it's interesting that you mentioned opening those locations on other islands to sustain. A lot of people would look at that and think, well, he's doing so well that he opened these businesses elsewhere.
Majority of people think that. But for me and my support team, we feel like almost everything is a bubble. And Grand Bahama will teach you that nothing lasts forever. So you always have to be able to maneuver, be able to transition, be able to switch. If one thing ain't working, you got to be able to go to another thing. So with us being educated in our field, educated in our industry, we could have transitioned to another island and just open and be ready. But other persons don't have that opportunity. And most persons, I feel, when they invest for better. They don't invest just because. And almost everything you do in the industry, that's how you got to think. Every decision, you got to calculate it. Every decision got to be made, and tough decisions have to be made.
So what do you think needs to happen in order for Grand Bahama to thrive? I know you said that we don't have the critical mass, right? How can we attract these persons back to the island? What does Grand Bahama need?
I think Grand Bahama needs a real serious injection. I think we need to focus more on local investments. The reason why is local people live here. Local people are Bahamians. The international investors, they just come here for money. They just come here for a better opportunity. But with a local person, we ain't going nowhere. We've been here through the pandemic. We've been here through the storm. I feel like the powers to be could really focus and look at empowering the persons that here.
Empowering Bahamians.
Yeah, rather than looking into people who ain't here. And because at the end of the day, those persons just trying to fill their pockets. But if you have someone who basically have the love for the city, love for the country, before they turn their back, they would think 3 or 4 times. And I feel that's the biggest thing. And we can't just rely on foreign or international investors to come and take us out this hole we in. Because true to the matter, I don't see it happening. I feel like the persons here, we capable, we have the capability, and I feel that's what needs to be looked at rather than looking elsewhere. I feel like we catering or attracting other domestic investors as well, but there's a lot of people right here who we could come together, pool, and make it happen. And I feel that might be one of the issues they could address. Because true to the matter, if we was here before the pandemic, we was here through the hurricane, we tug it out, stick it out. Me, for example, we didn't leave. And we have multiple islands we could go on. I have apartments on every island. We have a shop. So I could leave, pack up and go, but no. My heart is here in Grand Bahama. That's why I started. We was in the storm. So we knew what the people went through. We saw them. And we would love to see the island pick up and come back, but I feel there's some ideas and some conversations need to be had with the powers to be to really take us serious.
Definitely. Speaking of love for Grand Bahama, you also have a deep and fond love for family. You've been married for some 15 years and you also have 3 children. We talked about navigating the business life, but how do you navigate family life?
I only base it on God, because it's a lot. I have 2 girls now in primary school. One is first in the class, the next one is second in the class. I remember growing up, my parents were so busy to even take time out for us to do homework, study, or whatever. And I said I wanted to be different with my kids, because I feel like at the end of the day, the only persons I could call on is my family. So we try our best to be there for them. I do school runs myself. We do pickups. We do homeworks together. So I don't feel like I could be too busy to run a business and not have time to run my family. So I have 2 wonderful girls and a son, and they inspire me to continue, and they inspire me to make sure everything is in order for them for when they get older. And I feel like they're blessings, and they mean the world to me. So they motivate me, and I have to always make time for them. And
your wife has also been an integral part of who you are today.
Yes, my wife is, so she is, her background is accounting. She has a bachelor's degree in accounting, so she does all of the administration and accounting, and she also specializes in inventory, so it was a super team putting us together where
couple.
Where she did her part, I did my part, and I'm 100% sure that's the biggest difference between us and other businesses and why we're so successful, because you need that person there to tell you this don't make sense, that don't make sense. And financially is what the questions always need to be answered. Is this a good move? Is this not a good move? And so on. So she has been a solid, strong part of the business.
And I wish I could pick your brain a little bit more, but unfortunately we are just out of time. But before we conclude, I want to ask you, what legacy do you hope to leave and what is next for you?
We have some stuff in the pipeline, I must say. One day my grandmama, you have to be resilient. And we ain't going nowhere, so we have no choice but to continue to build on this island. What I would like to leave with anyone is, do your research before you invest. Do a lot of research before you invest. Do your homework before you invest. And try to make the best decision, the right decision, and realize that every decision has consequences, whether it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Is there a slogan that you live by?
I have a few slogans. One is, don't let $200 cost you $2,000.
What does that mean, though?
I can tell you what that means. And always remember God. I feel that's one of my things I would take home, is I wish I got closer to God earlier in my life. So that's one thing, get close to God, and He can direct you. The reason why I said don't let $200 cost you $2,000, it could be in multiple situations. For example, let's say your car insurance is up, it is only $200, and you take a chance driving on the road, and you hit somebody, and now you have to pay $2,000 because you didn't want to pay the $200, and that could be in so much instance in life and so much situations. So that's one of the models I tell persons. Just think about it. Don't let the little money cost you a lot of money.
Definitely, we'll think about that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Duncan, for sitting here with us, especially after what I know is a very, very busy schedule. Thank you for all of your sage advice.
Thank you.
What a journey. Talk about turning vision into reality. Big respect to our guest for sharing his story in that sit-down interview and for reminding us what's possible when you stay sharp and keep it fluid. But we're just getting started. We'll be right back after the break. When we return, we're bringing you stories from throughout the week that are making waves across the islands. You're watching Northern Vibes. Don't go anywhere.
Step into styles at Indulgence Ladies Boutique, located in number 5B Kent Building, just 2 doors down from D's Watch Repair. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., bringing you fashion for every occasion. Weddings, funerals, christenings, birthday, brunches, or just a night out, from plus size to regular, they've got the perfect fit for you. Discover handbags, perfume, body oils, fascinators, belt, and so much more, all in one place. Give them a call today at 826-0110. Indulgence Ladies Boutique, where fashion meets confidence.
You know that it's been the 8 o'clock hour. That means it's time for the morning run mix. Better known as PJ alongside DJ Future, right? Call me up right now.
DJ Future is what you know. I'm locked in. I'm on your run this morning. Keep it coming. Override.
I got you.
Morning Run Mix with DJ Future. Power 104.5 FM.
Let's keep it clean. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. That's it. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
I am ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle C Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Best sports show on the island of Grand Bahama. Guys, it's another Thursday. It's now time for Game Changer Radio.
Matthews in the building as usual.
I still believe they still can make a run in the postseason.
How was that the coach's fault? He was the one that said you think it was the right time. Changing the game with Game Changer every Thursday at 10. Me, Eddie, Matthew, bringing the heat, real talk, real sports, real energy. Only on Power 104.5 FM.
Welcome back. The student life at UB North is what they call a true mingle vibe. We got an opportunity to get an inside view of the growing flamboyance of proud UB North Mingos. Our Sherelle Dames has that story.
The new state-of-the-art UB North campus is buzzing with activity. Since being displaced from its East Grand Bahama campus, a result of Hurricane Dorian in 2019, the Northern Mingos has finally found a permanent place to nest. Vice President of Human Resources and UB North, Denise Barnes, says that there has been a significant bump in enrollment this semester.
We're happy to have students from other islands, and we want to see more. We want to see more students giving us an opportunity to educate them and to be a part of their growth as citizens of our country.
VP Barnes expressed that UB North is committed to providing the environment and settings necessary for its students to excel. The downtown Freeport campus, though still in its transitional phase, new facilities such as a computer lab and recreation room are opened for students, while a state-of-the-art library is soon to come.
For right now, we're just very thankful for our partnership with the Sir Charles Hayward Library, but we do have a state-of-the-art library that will be unveiled sooner than later. We have a Cafe Blue, that's about to open in the middle of October, and this is where students will be able to literally just grab and go, whether it's coffee, drinks, chip, and as our president, Dr. Robert Blaine says, it's all about student-focused excellence. That's what we're here for.
The Vice President says community support is vital for helping the youth access higher education. Though scholarship may seem like a major commitment, it can open the door to opportunity for those who are in need.
So many students who have what it takes to attend, but they may not have all of the financial support to be here. And so we are appealing to the public to support our young people.
Now, the good news is the fall 2025 enrollment at the University of the Bahamas has surpassed 5,200 students, a historic high since the COVID-19 pandemic, with UB North accounting for 500 of those students. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Well, in other news, the Kidney Center in Grand Bahama recently received a donation of blankets from the Management and Social Club of Castaways Resort and Suites. Housekeeping Supervisor Dachman Butler Pearson says that this donation was their way of showing gratitude to the staff of the Kidney Center for their continued commitment to the community.
Every year we'd want to start giving out a donation to the community, just thanking them and appreciating them. And for that reason, we have chosen the Kidney Center. This is our first time doing it, and we intend to do it again.
Social worker at the Kidney Center, Cassia Morris, says this donation could not have come at a better time as patients prepare for the colder months ahead.
We are delighted to be able to receive the blanket here for our patients. When the patients are receiving dialysis, the dialysis unit is cold back there, so we're happy that Castaways and their management team would have donated them to us so that we could present them to the patients who may need that extra warmth, especially as the months are getting colder now.
And on to more exciting news, the city of Freeport will be celebrating its 70th birthday in style with the City Rush. The event, featuring the 5 Group A Junkanoo groups under the collaborative umbrella of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, will take place October 11th on Explorers Way, as groups will be competing for prizes in 3 categories: Best Music, Best Choreography, and Best Banner. The cultural affair being made possible thanks to major sponsors such as the Grand Bahama Shipyard, the Freeport Freeport Oil Company, the Bahamian Brewery, Bahamas Hot Mix, Kelly's, and the Sanitation Services Company. Port Authority officials, President Ian Roll and co-chairman Sarah St. George, both sharing their excitement for the upcoming bash.
This event is about creating a shared moment where residents, families, and visitors can experience the pride and spirit of Freeport together in celebration of our city's legacy.
I can't think of a better way of celebrating our 70th birthday. Actually, it's going to be my 70th birthday soon as well. And I want to acknowledge everybody here. I want to thank everyone here for participating. It makes all the difference, and I'm so looking forward to this.
And ready to put on a show are the participating group leaders, telling the public to stay tuned for what's in store.
You're going to get what you're going to get after New Year's. So we're looking for everybody to come out, celebrate with us, and may the best group win.
And for those who've been to 8 Mile Rock and saw the event that we put in 8 Mile Rock, we're looking now do that. We're looking now shine that. So I know you say you're going to have a block party afterwards. We could give you a little block party before.
And that's a wrap on Northern Vibes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show today and most importantly, walked away with plenty of takeaways. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Raven Davis and we'll see you next week. But until then, stay safe, stay inspired, and keep the vibes going. Interested in being featured on Northern Vibes? Shoot me an email at ra.davis@znsbahamas.com.
Terrifying. And is this where your father was?
Wow.
Can you imagine? I just want us to think this is just one home.
Homelessness is really getting to a point where I'm not quite sure what's going to happen.
Join host Dr. Deborah Bartlett for a special edition of Taking Social Services to the People this coming Monday at 9 p.m. only on ZNS Television.
We're coming for y'all again.
Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout. Sundays on the ZNS Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, a major drug bust over on Cat Island. 2 Haitian nationals are behind bars. Plus, the rise in sexual assault cases among children continues to capture the attention of local advocates. And extensive renovations to Exuma's International Airport Terminal moving steadily. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. I'm LaDawn Davis. A joint operation has led to the recovery of a large quantity of drugs being apprehended and 2 men being placed under arrest. Cleopatra Murphy was there as the drugs and the suspects arrived here in the capital.
Police made a major drug bust Saturday, recovering 13 sacks of suspected cocaine off the southern tip of Cat Island.
The officers, while on board U.S. helicopter on the southern tip of Cat Island, observed 2 males in low-lying bushes, along with a number of crocus sacks. As a result of that, the officers landed, where they proceeded into the low-lying bushes, where they detained 2 males. They then checked those crocus sacks and discovered that each of those crocus sacks contained a number of kilo packages of suspected cocaine. Those males in their late 30s were then arrested.
A plane carrying those two suspects identified as Haitian nationals and the suspected drugs arrived in the capital at Odyssey Aviation sometime after 10 a.m. Sunday, followed by a helicopter transporting officers. Officer in charge of the Drug Enforcement Unit, Superintendent Wendy Pearson, says the smuggling of cocaine into the country is a growing challenge, one police are determined to combat.
As you know, on a daily basis, we have operations conducted in Nassau and on the Family Islands as we try to rid our country of drugs. So we continue to work towards that daily.
This latest cocaine bust follows a major marijuana and cocaine bust on Long Key in mid-May and another major cocaine bust in Grand Bahama in early January, with cocaine recovered valued at $9.96 million. In the wake of these incidents, Pearson is expressing gratitude to those who assist local law enforcement in finding the narcotics and arresting those who smuggle them.
We would like to thank the members of the public, also the U.S. counterparts for assisting us in keeping drugs off our streets in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Pearson made an appeal for information from the public, saying much of what they do is intelligence-based, and once officers get information, they act. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks a lot, Cleo. Well, steady progress is being made at the Exuma International Airport that has undergone extensive renovations as part of the Family Island Airport Renaissance Project. From work on the airport's runway to the construction of a new terminal building that is presently underway, officials say the intent is to create a new state-of-the-art facility to meet the island's growing needs. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, gave this update.
We now see vertical construction. I'm delighted every time I come to see many men on the job. We see steel work. We're almost up to the first floor. I'm really enthusiastic about the progress that we're seeing there. It's more than just an airport. It's really a gateway to the economy of Exuma and the Keys. The people have waited long enough. We thank them for their patience, and the progress is steady and sure.
The Deputy Prime Minister also lays out when the project is expected to be finished.
In about 10 to 12 months, we'll be completed with a 45,000 square feet terminal. I'm excited about it. The airside is already completed. We have brand new runways and taxiways and lightings, drainage, and all of the requisite safety infrastructure that's required. So beyond the terminal, really there's a lot more work in terms of the foundation and the infrastructure that we've seen on the air side, and all of that has been completed. The people of Exuma are pleased.
The Bahamas Crisis Center reported 180 cases of child sexual abuse within the past 9 months. The victims, according to officials, range in ages from as young as 2 to 17 years old. Here's West Calix Forbes.
The Crisis Center Director, Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson, told media that the 180 sexual assault cases reported only a fraction of what's truly happening in the homes across the country. Rise Bahamas, the advocacy group founded by Tennille Burrows, has long been calling for action.
We see more reporting. On another hand, I think the media is also doing more reporting on these types of cases, so I have to definitely commend the media on that, making the public aware of what's happening. But we know for a fact that not just in the Bahamas, but around the world, cases of sexual abuse of children is widely underreported.
The most recent reported case is that of a 14-year-old girl sexually assaulted by her own brother. Last week, the brother was sentenced to 7 years in prison and placed on 2 years probation after prosecutors revealed that the assault happened whilst their parents were away from home.
By and large, when children are sexually abused, it's so taboo that I think Bahamians as the wider public are crippled. They don't even know how to respond. They don't know what they can do. So it's definitely on that inner circle, the teachers, the pastors, the parents, to be the ones to realize what's going on with the child. It shouldn't take a child getting murdered. It shouldn't take a child going missing. It shouldn't take seeing a news report about, sexual assault of a child for the government to act.
To tackle this, advocates are calling for stronger sentencing laws, faster trials, and child-friendly courtrooms to reduce trauma for young victims. They're also pushing for more public education, empowering adults to speak up.
You never know if someone had been a neighbor that cared enough to intervene in that way, and even anonymously report, because of any crime against children that is suspected should be reported by the general public.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Great story there, Wes. Well, and this week, government officials and social partners will launch a 3-day domestic violence intervention training workshop aimed at improving how agencies identify, manage, and support victims of abuse. Minister of State for Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Lisa Raming, says the training underscores the government's commitment to ending domestic violence through education and coordinated action.
This initiative will equip leaders with the knowledge, skills, and resources to respond effectively to domestic violence issues that occur in the community. This workshop is not about education. It is about transformation. By empowering community leaders, we would be strengthening families, protecting the vulnerable, and laying the foundation for safer, stronger communities throughout the Bahamas.
The recently launched Love Your Neighbor initiative between the Urban Renewal and the Church of God of Prophecy will bring together officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Bahamas Crisis Center, and the Bahamian Christian Council. Participants will explore what constitutes domestic violence by law, how to handle reports sensitively, and ways to connect victims with vital support services. Director of the Bahamas Crisis Center, Dr. Sandra Dane Patterson.
See how domestic violence continues to increase. We see how violence continues to occur. And what we have learned over these long years that I've been working in this area is that violence is learned. It's learned behavior. Awareness is basic, knowledge is basic, skills are basic, but action too. And I know at the end of this, we're going to come up with an action tool, an action plan that will help us address this and make our nation a safer nation.
The workshop runs October 6th to the 8th with 3-hour sessions held at the Church of God of Prophecy's Children's Chapel on East Street. And still to come, National Youth Month activities started with a church service today. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, comes right back.
Hello, bonjour, hola, hello, ciao.
No matter where your passport takes you, BTC Roaming keeps you effortlessly connected. Enjoy seamless calls, lightning-fast data, and affordable roaming across the globe. No SIM swaps, no stress. Just one network, working everywhere. So go ahead, explore the world, and still be just a call away from home.
During Little Caesars Carnival of Specialties, you're gonna want to try everything. Like wearing a Balloon Man costume?
Or turning into a tuba?
No! Like trying all the varieties from the Carnival of Specialties at a special price for a limited time, only at Little Caesars.
For just $13 VAT inclusive, get it now at Little Caesars Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza.
Pizza.
5 BTC employees are unemployed tonight after BTC executives terminated them for what they claim is a legitimate cause on Friday. The terminated employees were members of both bargaining unions. Now, according to a statement, BTC noted that the decision was made based on the accordance of its established policies, terms of its industrial agreements, and in alignment with its commitment to fairness and compliance with labor laws. The Bahamas Communications and Public Managerial Union is expressing its disappointment regarding the termination of its 2 members. President Kendrick Knowles says the remaining managers at BTC are disheartened by this incident, claiming that they're allegedly threatened and victimized if they refuse to carry out certain duties. Knowles says this type of behavior must stop and is now calling on the government to intervene and take a closer look at the leadership of the company.
BTC is not delivering on what was promised from day one when they purchased the company. They're not delivering on the expectation of our customers, and the customers can speak to that. And now they're turning on the managers in the business. And they are picking them out. They're taking out these personal vendettas against them, and they have terminated 2 of our managers. But it's not going to go like that. That's not the end of it, because we have an industrial agreement that they themselves have now vied away from. They use aspects of the industrial agreement to justify why they are terminating them, but yet they do not adhere to the rest of the industrial agreement.
Knowles says the situation will not end here and believes that all terminated employees should be allowed to defend themselves.
What we're saying here is that if BTC is going to make allegations that someone did something wrong and not give them an opportunity to defend themselves, they are violating natural justice. Not just our industrial agreement, but natural justice. And we want to understand why is the company now taking out its lack of performance on our managers.
Small and medium-sized business owners taking a dive into the challenges they face in accessing financing. The entrepreneurs attended a series of workshops recently at the Marriott Courtyard Hotel, focusing on how to access financing in local, regional, and international markets. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation is partnering with the Caribbean Export Development Agency, or CEDA, to host the initiative. The Chamber's Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Leo Roll, says efforts are underway to increase the number of business owners getting grants.
There are about 50 businesses, between 40 and 50 businesses that have registered to come out to hear what the opportunities are and sort of get a cheat sheet on how they can qualify. One of the things when we met with CEDA was that the Bahamas usually doesn't apply for anything, and even when they apply, the applications are usually weak, and so they don't qualify. We're hoping to break that trend, and so what we're looking for is for an opportunity to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak, on how businesses can, one, access the opportunities, but also strengthen their application so that they can qualify for the opportunities once they access them.
CEDA's representative Makia Franklin cited some of the challenges businesses face, while Executive Director of Small Business Development Center talked about the importance of capacity building.
So what we hope to accomplish is that, we actually build the capacity of these firms to actually approach the banks to get the financing that they need to improve their competitiveness and especially to scale their businesses.
But they can also access grant funding from a regional standpoint. And I think being able to have those technical skills to write, whether it's a business plan or a grant proposal, arms you even greater in able to accessing the funds that are needed or even the other resources that are needed.
It was a day filled with reflection as voices from across the nation called for a deeper commitment to the next generation. Here's Amaya Moss.
As the sanctuary filled with voices lifted in praise, the spirit of purpose and possibility took center stage at Living Waters Ministries as youth were recognized not for what society fears they may become, but for the powerful difference they are already making. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, spoke earnestly about empowering the nation's youth to correct them with compassion, not criticism, to lead with love and not leave them behind, underscoring the emerging generation as a collective that is often unfairly judged by the failures of a few.
Let's not just speak about the youth. Let's speak with them. Let's build bridges between generations. Let's co-create solutions and open doors so that youth voices are not only heard, but respected and acted upon.
National Youth Ambassador Darren Stewart, National Youth Assembly House Speaker Don Johnson, and Razante Arthur, a police force cadet, each championed a message of hope, urging their peers to rise above distractions, embrace their purpose, and become the change they want to see.
The first thing I'd like to say is that it's okay. I know sometimes we feel so discouraged, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. I just like to encourage them to take advantage of the many opportunities, the many programs that the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture has to offer.
I think us as youths, we are here to put our voices forward, allow our passions, our aspirations, and how we feel about how our nation is going to be at the forefront of our various parliamentarians, our senators, and the people that are making the laws and bills that affect us every day.
Organizations like this help youth a lot, especially those who may be going through challenges at home. And for me, the Cadet Corps has done a lot, especially within school. I became more outgoing, and it has allowed me to influence other people.
In a nation often shadowed by the headlines of crime and despair, these young voices remind us that light still lives in every dreamer, every doer, and every youth daring to make a difference. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks a lot, Amaya. Well, in this programming note, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas advises the general public that ZNS 1540 AM radio will be off air for scheduled technical upgrades on Monday, October 6th and Tuesday, October 7th between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Listeners are advised to tune in to 104.5 FM for continued programming. Stay close. Sports is up next with Eugene Stewart.
Diet-friendly special.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Welcome to your stress-free Sunday Sports Check. I'm Eugene Stewart. Well, the Bimini boy VJ Edgecombe suiting up in his first NBA preseason matchups against the New York Knicks over in Abu Dhabi. Over the weekend, the number 3 draft pick dropping 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in Game 1. And in Game 2, he added 10 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, and a block in 24 minutes of play. Also in NBA preseason action, DeAndre Ayton, now wearing the number 5 jersey for the Los Angeles Lakers, will go head-to-head with Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors. Tip-off is set for 8:30 tonight. The New Providence Volleyball Association getting their night league season underway today, featuring an opening ceremony and a rematch of last year's championships between the Avengers and Technicians. The league also featuring a return of various teams throughout the league, such as the University of the Bahamas Mingos, and the long-anticipated return of a junior team comprising of skillful high school volleyball players from across New Providence. The Bahamas Bodybuilding, Wellness and Fitness Federation back in the capital after securing an overall second-place finish at this year's Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships in St. Lucia. We hear from men's fitness medalist Alexander Kemp on his experience of the big stage.
It felt pretty good, The fitness challenge, as well as the men's fitness, is one of the most toughest competitions you could do because it not requires just you to look good, but you have to be able to perform. Routine, agility, flexibility, coordination, etc. But yeah, man, it felt pretty good, man. Our team, we had good camaraderie. Everybody's gelling together, helping each other. And these medals, I got a silver medal in the men's fitness. I got a 3rd place within the men's fit model. I got a 4th place in the men's the fitness challenge. But next year we're gonna do much better. Some people will get butterflies. For me, I said this is my opportunity to shine, my spotlight, everybody, all eyes on me. So it felt pretty good. Your adrenaline would start pumping, but then you know what you came to do, and once you would have practiced consistently, you're gonna see yourself execute. Because when you're on stage, it's go time. There's no more thinking about the past, thinking about what you could have done. It's about, hey, what can I do right now to make this the best? And it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And that's been your stress-free Sunday Sports Check. I'm Eugene Stewart. Have a great week, everyone.
The faculty, staff, and students of C.R. Walker Senior High School kicked off the school year with an inaugural prayer service.
The theme for this morning's service, coming from Psalm 33 and 12, says that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. This scripture not only reminds us of the benefits of having a relationship with God, but it's a call for us to rely on God, who is the master and sustainer of all.
Prominent religious leaders, including the Right Reverend Laish Boyd, Archbishop of the Anglican Diocese of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, delivered a prayer and words of encouragement to the school body.
As you strive to be the best person that you can be, let God be your Lord. The psalmist wasn't just trying to base our time when the psalmist said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Because the psalmist knew what many of us know, and that is that God is the beginning and end.
Assistant Director of Education Michael Comer reminded the students of their purpose during the academic year.
And the goal of the Ministry of Education is to ensure that we provide a quality education, access to a quality education, so that the end product of our education is globally competitive, productive citizens.
Jonalie McIntosh for Ed Talk.
In 1953, the United States began using a female name for storms. And by 1978, both male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established by the World's Meteorological Organization for Atlantic hurricanes. There is a list of male and female names which are used on a 6-year rotation. The only time that there is a change is if the storm is so deadly or costly that the future use of its name on a different storm would be inappropriate. These are the names of the storms for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season: Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dexter, Erin, Fernand, Gabrielle, Umberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, Olga, Pablo, Rebecca, Sebastian, Tanya, Van, Wendy. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
It's Bahamas' biggest night this November 1st. Join Elias Promotions, YBE Promotions, Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, and Bahamas Air as they present the Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series at the National Stadium Ground, performing for the first time. Tyrese comes to Bahamas to deliver an unforgettable performance. Also performing R&B sensation Uncle Sam. Get ready for Deborah Cox. The Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series, Saturday, November 1st at the National Stadium Ground, Nassau. Tyrese, Uncle Sam, and Deborah Cox. Advance tickets are available now at all Cash and Go locations, or log on to cashandgobahamas.com. For info, call 242-427-8111 or call 242-357-0116. Be there.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Diane Dorset joins us live in the Weather Center with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Diane.
Thanks, Ladon. In the tropics, we're monitoring two areas of low pressure. The first is located near the northern Bahamas with no chance of tropical development at this time. The second is a tropical wave situated several hundred miles west-southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. Atmospheric conditions appear favorable for development, and a tropical depression could form later this week as the system moves quickly westward, approaching the northern Leeward Islands by Friday. Now, the Hurricane Center is giving this wave a 70% chance of becoming the next named storm of the season. Now, it's still far away, but computer models suggest it could turn northward just before reaching the Bahamas early next week. We'll continue to monitor it closely and keep you updated on its progress. Outside our studios, we're seeing a temperature of 78 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Winds are west-southwest at 6 miles per hour. Humidity is at 84%. And the pressure is standing at 29.92 inches or 1,013.3 millibars. Now let's take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands. In the northwest Bahamas, Freeport City, Green Turtle Key at 84 degrees. Ellistown, Bimini, 85. Bullocks Harbor, 83. And Marshall, Abaco, 82 degrees. For the central Bahamas, Fresh Creek, Central Andrews at 87. Camps Bay, South Andrews, and Block Point, Exuma at 89. Harbour Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera, as well as Arthurstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, all at 82 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 86. And for our southernmost islands, Clarence Sound, Crooked Island, and Ragged Island at 81. Betsy Bay and Acklands at 88. Matthew Town and Naugua, 89 degrees. And for the Turks and Caicos Islands, 88 degrees. Now for your morning forecast. For the northwest Bahamas tonight and tomorrow, winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots with seas 2 to 4 feet and large swells. Boaters are strongly urged to exercise extreme caution. Tide will be low at 1:22 tonight and high again at 7:32 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will be light and variable with seas 1 to 3 feet with large swells as well. Our satellite picture shows troughing across the northwest and the central Bahamas, which will continue to support occasional showers and thunderstorms through the early part of the new week. Tonight, you can expect a temperature of 78 degrees, partly cloudy and warm, a couple of thunderstorms later this evening, and tomorrow a warm 85 degrees, cloudy with a couple of thunderstorms. Now, for your extended weather forecast. Expect mostly cloudy skies with occasional showers and thunderstorms, some heavy at times through Wednesday, with usual warm temps in the 80s. Now, that'll do it for weather. Have a great week, everyone. Ladon.
Thanks a lot, Diane. And that does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Ladon Davis. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
In this 21st century, our resident voice cries out for the empowerment of the poor, reinstatement of the outcasts, restoration of the abused, and the simple preaching and teaching of the gospel to stimulate victorious Christian living.
I'm telling you, God is able.
Camp Road Ministries presents Practical Principles for Successful Christian Living, a program designed to develop the whole man through spiritual enrichment, promoting healthy lifestyles, encouraging education, and training ambassadors to spread the gospel, building lives one person at a time.
Welcome to Practical Principles for Successful Christian Living.